Join us now, Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, who played a key role in that meeting. So what went on, Congressman? Chairman?
It's great to be with you, Joe. It was a very productive meeting. As you highlighted, the 6 people that were in that meeting, we've been having these meetings pretty much on a weekly basis, making sure that the White House, the House, and the Senate are aligned and moving forward on the economic policies that the president has been pushing since he was campaigning for president. But it was highly productive. I'm very, very excited about the momentum that's building over in the United States Senate to pick up and pass the budget resolution that the House passed just over a month ago.
I don't know if your ears were burning. We did talk about you earlier, Mr. Chairman. I know it was in a good way, but
okay,
this is in terms of some of the investments and subsidies for green energy. And I guess the thrust of our piece was maybe the Trump administration would like to cancel some of these, but there's Republican pushback from 21 House Republicans. Can you comment? Is it just simple? It's in their district. It benefits their constituents. Is it as simple as that? Because how do we ever get anything done if all politics are always local?
Joe, I'll first say that failure is not an option in delivering these economic policies, but it also means that as the Ways and Means Chairman and also the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, we have to thread a very narrow needle in making sure that the smallest majority in the history of Congress is able to stick together to move this economic package. And that requires balancing the individuals who have certain green energy tax credits that they strongly support versus those who just want to rip them out by the roots. It has to be a constant balance. It's the same way, Joe, that we've discussed on your network about the state and local tax. It's a balancing act of those individuals from New York, New Jersey, and California with the members from Florida and Texas and Tennessee, because they're on different ends of the spectrum. But we're going to thread that needle. We're going to stick together, and we're going to deliver for the American people.
I mean, that almost sounded like what I hear from the other side when they talk about DOGE. Sure, we all want to do this, but we got to do it in a thoughtful way. We got to satisfy all our constituencies. And I mean, either you need to rein some of this spending in, and there's going to be some pain that's shared equally by everyone, or we never get anything done. And I'm sensitive to the notion that the majority is very small, but it just sounds like more government as usual, the answer you gave me, Mr. Chairman.
Joe, in regards to, well, I'm sorry it came across that way. One thing we've been pushing on the House is that in order for this budget resolution and this economic package to move forward, we have to have real spending cuts. And that's what we continue to encourage the Senate, is that what we passed out of the House of $1.5 to $2 trillion worth of spending cuts is the minimum. We have to maintain those spending cuts, and that's how you're going to reduce it. Whenever you look at the tax bill that the House Ways and Means Committee will deliver after the budget resolution is there, you will see that we are eliminating unnecessary tax provisions and implementing with pro-growth tax policies.
One of the things that Democrats use as a cudgel and that Republicans seem to not want to really say out loud is that the increases in Medicaid that are built into the budget would be pared back. So some people say a cut is a cut. Other people say, look, we're just trying to slow the growth of Medicaid. What's going to, now there's Republicans, Senator Tuberville of Alabama, saying it would decimate Alabama. It's just so hard to please all the people all the time. Will there be a slowing in Medicaid expenditures?
Without a doubt, we have to address Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security when it comes to inefficiencies and improper payments and waste and fraud. What the president's been crystal clear, Joe, is that he wants to protect the benefits for Americans in regards to that unless they are illegals. And there is numerous things that we can do to have savings. For example, the Social Security Inspector General, for an example, last year highlighted $72 billion of improper payments just just in Social Security. There's a lot of waste and fraud and abuses within the federal government that we need to create efficiencies, and that will help protect and preserve the programs for the people who are relying on them.
I mean, I think that you're going to see already. I think that Senator Schumer wants to convene a panel to drive a wedge between Republicans on this issue with Medicaid, because there are Republicans that want even more than 1.5 trillion in cuts, and some that don't want any. This is watching the sausage being made is difficult.
Joe, what I will say is that Senator Schumer hasn't been successful so far in driving a wedge. The House Republicans, the Senate Republicans have been the most unified that I've ever seen the Republican Party since I have served in the United States Congress. They passed a continuation of funding with only Republican votes in the House, and then just a handful of Democrats did not want to shut down government on the other side, which was a huge win for President Trump and House Republicans and Senate Republicans. It's the same way with numerous other provisions. The budget resolution that we pass and the reconciliation bill that will become law that delivers on the border, energy, and the economy and spending cuts, that'll be passed without Democrats. It will be Republicans standing united.
Finally, I think we got about a minute left, Mr. Chairman. Do you think we'll be talking about what should we call it? Signalgate? Do you have a good name for this? Do you think that in a week that Democrats? I mean, they finally got something. I think that they feel like they can work with. You know, you got to make hay while the sun's shining. Do you think we'll be talking about it in a week? Do you think Hegseth and Secretary Hegseth and Mike Waltz survive this, or are the Democrats serious? Needs to be a reckoning. The head's got to roll.
Joe, the president has spoken. He stands behind his team. He's proud of his team. They do a good job. One thing that we should be proud of is that we have a president and team that is going after people who have been targeting the United States. The Houthis targeted the U.S. Navy ships more than 170 times just in the last couple years, but the Biden administration did nothing. I am thankful that we have a president and his team that's willing to plan out strategies to go after terrorists.
All right. Mr. Chairman Smith, thanks. And don't be a stranger. We'll see you again soon. We'll need you to talk about all these things as we get closer. All right. Thank you.